Alright, so today for Foundation Friday, we're kind of throwing it back with an older product. This is a powder foundation. I'm going to be reviewing the BareMinerals Original Foundation. So this is one of those products for me that over the years, I've tried about 5 or 6 probably different times, trying to make it work for my skin, because whenever you go into Ulta, whenever you go into some makeup counter, I feel like especially as you're getting into makeup, I remember this being like one of the first products that kept being recommended to me. And I had acne for years. If you guys are new here, I have a whole acne story and I go kind of in depth about my whole acne journey and how long I've had it and everything. In the past, I had pretty intense cystic acne and oily skin, so that was how I tried this product. Now I have dry skin and no acne after being on Accutane. So I'm curious to see what I think of this now that my skin is completely different. I never had a great experience with this product. It just never seemed to work for my skin. Like, I remember going into Ulta and them telling me that this would cover my acne and then getting home and applying it and being like, what? But I hope you guys are excited for this Foundation Friday. If you are and you enjoy it while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and Foundation Friday is every single Friday on my channel. I have a whole playlist down below with all the videos in there. 15 Days of Foundation is coming up. Stay tuned. An announcement video is coming very soon. All right, so it is 8:11 in the morning. I really need to change my Christmas donut background. It's getting a little ridiculous right now. Oh, my heater's on. I have washed, moisturized, and primed my skin. I primed using the NYX Angel Veil. I've been really liking this primer when I want something more smoothing. I have a whole powder foundation routine where I show you guys in depth how to apply powder foundation using the JCat Aquassurance, and I kind of go through steps and like why I do certain things in that video, so I'm not going to do as much of that in this video, but I have already put on my concealer because you want to put any cream products on before your powder. So I've powdered my under eyes so that nothing sticks when I go to blend out powder on top, and I do have under eye concealer on right now. I didn't put concealer anywhere else, so the rest of my face is just my skin. I'm so curious to see what I think of this now that my skin is totally different than the last time I tried this. So you just get this size. I also actually have this guy, which is massive, that I found at Marshall's for $16.99, normally 25 bucks, but this is in the shade medium. But I got this for like a Marshall's makeup video, and I don't even know why I picked up the shade medium. No idea, because that's going to be way too dark. I think I was thinking maybe I could use it as bronzer or something. I don't know, man. But I just wanted to show you guys, if you can find a shade, Ross and Marshall's carry BareMinerals powder. I've seen a lot there, and you can get it like way marked down. Retails for $31, comes in 30 shades, and you get 0.28 ounces of product. So when I, in the past, have used this, I remember the lightest shade being too dark for my skin. My skin has changed over the last couple years and gotten about a shade darker somehow, so maybe this will match now. So basic, just sifter packaging. This turns to open the holes and then closes. So the whole thing with BareMinerals, if you've seen any of their instructional videos or just other people's videos, is that you're supposed to use a really tiny amount, like a dime size amount, and buff it, really get swirl, tap, buff is their whole thing. So you're supposed to, okay, my eye keeps twitching. You're supposed to tap a tiny bit in the lid, swirl really well so there's like no product on the brush, tap it off, and then buff it into your skin really well. You can build it up, supposedly. In the past, I've never gotten full coverage from this, so I'm gonna do what they say and tap a tiny amount to start out with. You can always build it up. They just recommend not starting out with a crap ton of product because then it can just look heavier and cakier. Here's the amount that I'm starting out with. The brush I'm going to be using today, this is one of my favorite powder brushes when I'm using a powder foundation. This one is like a good mix between dense, so it'll still give you some coverage, but you can fully blend. It's super soft, and it's just a really nice like firmness. This is the It Cosmetics Heavenly Skin Brush. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to start out, swirl really well. So you're basically just supposed to swirl until like all of the product is in your brush bristles. Is my mic on? Yes. Thank you, Mike. I think we're in there. Now I'm going to tap it off. Not too much is coming off, so it's a good sign that it's really in these bristles. And now I'm going to get a close-up mirror. I'm going to start on this side of my face, so it is soft right now. Like, there's nothing sticky, so it shouldn't be gripping to anything. And I'm just going to go in and start to buff, and we'll see what kind of coverage I get. And I will probably be building this up. In the past, when I've used this, like I said in the intro, probably that I've used this, I think about 5 times, different times I've tried it, like throughout my life, just like over the years. And every time it just has not worked for me. So now that my skin is totally different, it could look totally different. If there's one thing I've learned since being off Accutane is that products look so different on different skin types. Like a foundation can look like a totally different finish on oily skin versus dry skin. It is so bizarre. Right now I'm getting like no coverage. I feel like that did nothing. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I do want to do one part of my face at a time fully, just so we can compare the coverage rather than like working in sections on my whole face. We also could try a different brush on the other side just to see. I'm adding, again, a really tiny amount, like they say. Swirling it in there. Okay, let's buff again. There are about 3 powder foundations now I like, so I feel like once I have about 5 or a couple more that I found, I will do a video on my favorite powder foundations. And I'm also going to keep trying this one in different ways. So the shade, I mean, I really can't see a whole lot happening on my face, so it's kind of hard to tell the shade, but I think the shade is a little bit dark. So let's keep building it up. I'm actually going to switch. Let's try switching brushes now. I'm going to try pressing it on with this brush to try and get more coverage and then blend out my face with the Cosmetics brush. So I'm still like swirling in here. Let's see if this does anything. That's pressed on. Let's just continue to buff. This only has 5 ingredients in it, which is pretty cool. So this is supposed to be like, you know, a clean makeup item that's not gonna break you out, hopefully. And it says that this formula gives you more of a luminous finish. They do have a matte one, so if you have oily skin, you might want to go with the matte one. If you have drier skin, like I do, then you'll probably want to go with the original formula. Let's see if I can see any kind of glow. I see like a very slight glow, like very slight. I do think I'm getting a little bit more coverage. I can definitely still see my scarring, freckles, and redness still coming through here. So I still feel like I'm getting sheer coverage. Maybe a little bit light, like we're starting to get light coverage. My skin is also a little bit finicky. So typically the way that other people apply products or like the brands tell you to apply products just doesn't work for my skin. Just in the past, that's what's happened. So this is probably one of those products that I'm just going to have to find a way to apply best for my skin. So I'm going to try pressing this on now. I mean, definitely not full coverage, even after building it up like, what, 4 times now? I'm going to try actually a different method for the other side because I don't love how that's looking. It doesn't look bad. The thing is that the finish, like how it's sitting on my skin, it looks fine. It looks a little bit powdery around here, but everywhere else, it's not clinging anywhere. It's not clinging on any of my dryness, and it does feel just like really lightweight and like a powder. So it doesn't feel heavy at all. I just don't, I don't know, just not like wowed. I think what I'm going to do on this side is actually try using my sponge, which is, wow, very dirty. This fuzzy sponge, I did a whole video trying out, so I'll link that in the eye and down below, but I'm going to try this for powder, and I think I'm just going to use like this side and basically press this onto my skin first. Let's just see what happens. Might as well try it. So I'm just swirling it in here a little bit, and I'm going to press first, and then I'll use the brush to buff. Okay, I'm going to go back to buffing. So adding some more. Now I feel like it's turning almost pink toned a little bit. Let's try like bigger motions maybe. So my forehead, especially with powder, can look a little cakey really easily. So we'll see how this one does up here. I have more like texture on my forehead, so sometimes powder products can just really cling to it. That's why I avoid setting my forehead. Okay, I do see a little bit of a glow now, which I love. Love a good glow. I like how it's looking on my forehead. That evened out my complexion up there. So I think just where I have more to cover, obviously, like more scarring and stuff, it isn't covering as much, because I definitely wouldn't say you can get this even to medium coverage. I mean, it's looking like light coverage, and I'm still building. So I just feel like this is a little bit time consuming too. Like I would probably just go in with a more full coverage powder, because those do exist. I feel like I'm at light coverage after about 25,000 layers. For me, it's like a little bit too much work. Like I said, I would just want to go in with a powder foundation that had a little bit more coverage. I probably on a daily basis would not sit here and do like 25 layers like that. They actually also show going in with a smaller brush to spot conceal using the powder, so I'm going to try that. So for that, I'm going to use the Morphe E22. It's like a little pointed tiny brush, and I'm just going to try and conceal almost. Oh, that kind of worked. That's helping. So right now it is 8:34, so we'll probably call the check-in time 8:30, but I am going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back and I'll show you guys what it looks like once the rest of my makeup's on. I'm 99% sure I'm going to set my face with the Catrice Dewy Glow because anytime I use a powder foundation, especially if you have dry skin, this just takes it to the next level. And I more in this video want to try to find a way to make this work. I will show you guys spraying this on once the rest of my makeup is on. Okay, so the rest of my makeup's on. It's 9:06. Actually, I thought it was going to be way later than that. So let's go ahead and spray this. So I haven't sprayed my setting spray yet. And now that it's been on, when did we say 8:30? So it's been on for about 40 minutes almost. And it does look like definitely a little bit more illuminating, which I'm happy about. So it definitely added some glow. It is still drying down. But even with the setting spray, I do feel like my skin feels a little bit dry. I mean, I do have, you know, a powder foundation on. I don't not like how it looks. I just feel like for the amount of like time and effort it takes to put on so many layers of this to get it to look how I want it to look, it just is pretty time consuming. Like I just definitely wouldn't use this on a daily basis. I am going to try setting my liquid foundation with this and see how it goes. I'm also going to be having another foundation update video coming where I go through like 20 foundations that I've reviewed in the past and I've been trying and I've pulled out again and like tried in different ways. So definitely keep trying this one and an update will be in that video. But on the rest of my face for bronzer, I use the Catrice Prime and Fine Ashy Radiance. Did they discontinue this? I don't know. I feel like when I tried to link it last time, they might have discontinued it. Blush I use Collab just for fun. For eyeshadows, I tried out the Masquerade Mini by Juvia's Place. This does not look like a mini palette. But I just went in with a lot of the brown shades down here, and then this is the shade that's all over my lid. For lashes, I used Eylure Talia, and then for lipstick, I used BH Cosmetics Liquid Linen in Natalie. For highlight, I tried out this new Laura Mercier Quad. You get 4 highlighters in here. Super pretty pans. Look at that packaging. I went in with the lightest one right here. I think that's probably the only one I could use for my skin tone, but I could probably use the other ones for eyeshadow. It's very, very subtle. I had to like really layer it up. It's everything on my face, so I'm going to show you guys what this looks like in natural lighting. I'm actually going to do that in probably about an hour because I'm going to film a second video right now. I'm doing an empties video, so I'm not sure if that will be up first before this video, but it'll be coming if not. So I'll see you guys in natural lighting in probably about an hour or an hour and a half. Okay, it's 10 o'clock now. I just filmed the empties video, but I completely forgot I was gonna film this check-in and I just like peeled my lashes off the second after I finished filming Story of My Life. Still looking like pretty matte, I feel like. I mean, you can see a little bit of a glow, but even with the Catrice, it's not like looking super, super glowy. Overall, it looks, you know, fine. I don't think it looks incredible or anything, and I'm not like totally wowed, and I can't what am I trying to say? I can't not wait to reach for this tomorrow. I can wait to reach for this. Like, I'm not dying to put this on my face again or anything. And just compared to the JCat Aquassurance and some of my other powder foundations, I don't know, I just don't like this one as much, and I just feel like it's a little bit high maintenance-y. But here is what my skin looks like. You can see a little bit like creasing and just, I don't know, it looks a bit dry. And then, like I said earlier, around my pores, you can just see it. And I'm getting a little bit of creasing, not too bad, on my upper lip. That's usually where I crease. And then here's the other side of my face. I don't know. Overall, it looks fine. It just looks like powdery and nothing super impressive. I'm probably just gonna do one check-in at the end of the night because I think I'm gonna leave this on until about 4:30 because I have to get ready for something else around 5. All right, it's now 3:30, so it's been on, I changed my background by the way. It's been on for 7 hours. I'm so tired, you guys. I just fell asleep mid-editing. I need to wash off my face, shower, get a second wind, and go get ready. Lots of caffeine mixed in there somewhere. So overall, it's held up pretty well. I noticed a couple times, I think I went to like Snapchat or something, and I noticed that, especially on my phone, it looked like extra creasy on my upper lip. It looks a bit on the dry side. You can just like, I mean, really right there, you can see it. It just doesn't look very moisturizing. As of right now, on its own, just the powder as a powder foundation, not feeling it. The JCat Aquassurance or my Physicians Formula powders give much better coverage, and you only have to do like 1 or 2 layers. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Wow, I need some serious caffeine right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna have my Foundation Friday playlist linked down below in the description box. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.